Okay, guys, now we're going to cover exercises 3 and 4. Exercise 3 is introducing having you practice a new skill that you learned from your reading in Chapter 7, Lesson 1. And it is talking about identifying and combining sentences. So when we identify sentences, the three sentences that it's talking about, or the three kinds of sentences it's talking about, are the simple sentence with a compound subject, and the simple sentence with a compound verb. And so a simple sentence just has one subject and it has one verb. In this sentence, Samson is the subject and is the verb. And so this is an example of a simple sentence because it doesn't have any conjunctions at all that you see in the sentence. The second one is an example of a sentence that is a simple sentence with a compound subject. And the compound subject in this sentence is Samson and Lucky. And they are in the backyard. So the and is our clue that this has a compound subject or verb in the sentence. And so since it is connecting two subjects in the sentence, it is called a simple sentence with a compound subject and is labeled SCS. My sisters talked and laughed all evening is an example of a simple sentence with compound verbs. And so in this sentence, there are two verbs, talked, laughed. And so we recognize that there is a compound subject or verb in this sentence because we see a conjunction here, and that conjunction is and. And so that lets us know that there's a compound something going on right here. And that is, those are compound verbs. So it is a simple sentence with a compound verb. Okay? Now, let's look at the sentences in exercise 3, I'm sorry. Okay, so we identify each type of sentence by writing the correct label in the blank. And so we start with number 1. Lucy and Victor reported the stolen items immediately. So the first thing I notice is that, hey, here is a conjunction. And so even though my instructions don't tell me to do this, I'm going to circle it so that I recognize that that's a conjunction. And then I'm going to see, is this combining two subjects or two verbs? Well, I know that my verb is reported because if I were classifying a sentence, I would ask the question, who reported the stolen items immediately? And the answer to that would be Lucy and Victor, and those are compound subjects. So this is a simple sentence with compound subjects. You will learn more about actual compound sentences and even complex sentences later on, but that is why it's important to label that as simple. These are simple sentences, but they have compound, this one has a compound subject. All right, our family played and splashed in the lake for hours. So I notice a conjunction, the conjunction and. It's connecting two words, two verbs, played and splashed. Okay, so if I were asking this question and classifying the sentence, I would say, who played and splashed in the lake for hours? And it would be family, would be the subject noun. And so what is being said about family? Family played and splashed. Both of these are verbs, and so that would be a simple sentence with compound verbs. Number 3. Linda turned the television off and started her homework. Are there any conjunctions? Yes. There's the conjunction and right here. And so I'm going to look to see, is it connecting two subjects or is it connecting two verbs? Well, I know that turned is a verb. So if I started there and said, who turned the television off and started her homework, then my answer would be Linda, which would be the subject noun. And so Linda turned and she started. She turned the television off and she started her homework. Both of those are verbs. And so this is a simple sentence with compound verbs. Number 4. Pam will bring pumpkin pie for dessert. First thing I look for, are there any conjunctions in this sentence? And, or but. and there are not. So this is simply a simple sentence. Number 5, my class ring and diamond necklace are missing. If I were classifying this sentence, I might say, what are missing? And it would be ring and necklace. And so the first thing I look for, though, is a conjunction, and I do have one. It's and. What two things are being connected here? Are they subjects or are they verbs? Well, class ring and diamond necklace are objects, and so they are actually the subject of the sentence ring and necklace. So that would be a simple sentence with compound subjects. We sat by the fire and sipped hot chocolate. If I were classifying this sentence, well, first let me look for a conjunction. I see one here. So if I were classifying the sentence, I would say, who sat by the fire and sipped hot chocolate? And it would be we, subject pronoun. What is being said about we? We sat and we sipped. So those are two verbs. So that would be a simple sentence with compound verbs. And if you are still unsure about this, it's okay. We are not in a traditional classroom setting, and it makes it a little bit difficult to do when we're not able to be together. And so as long as you've been exposed to this and you've completed this after watching the video, you're in good shape, okay? So don't stress if you don't exactly understand every bit of it. Exercise 4 tells us to combine the sentences as indicated by the labels in parentheses. And I figure this is probably where you guys are having the most trouble. So you have two sentences here. My dog jumped in the pool. My dog swam around happily. And it has out here the abbreviation, the label for a simple sentence with compound verbs. Okay? So I know that I'm going to use the same subject, which is the same subject as in both sentences. So I'm going to start my sentence with my dog. And the first thing he did, jumped in the pool. And what did he do? Swam around happily. They do not give you enough room to write all that on that line. But okay, so what you've just done is turned two sentences into one sentence by combining the verbs. And your new sentence is, my dog jumped in the pool and swam around happily. He jumped and he swam. So that's a simple sentence with compound verbs. All right, Shelly made dinner tonight. Donna made dinner tonight too. Simple sentence with compound subjects. So what it's asking us to do is to combine the subjects, and the subject of this sentence is Shelly. And I'm going to add my conjunction. And Donna is the subject of the second sentence. So Shelly and Donna, and they both made dinner. So I'm going to put made dinner tonight. And that is how you would combine those two sentences to make one sentence, one simple sentence with a compound subject. Good job, guys. I'll talk to you later.